So guys, a very small topic is kept for today, that is your maxillary sinus. And in maxillary sinus, first of all you should be knowing its anatomy, its embryology, its physiology, its nerve supply, its blood supply, its functions. So these are the basic things that you should be knowing in your maxillary sinus. Apart from this, you should also be knowing something about your acute sinusitis as well as your chronic sinusitis. Normally the questions in acute and chronic sinusitis are not much asked regarding what are the symptoms, what are the treatment, or what is the etiology, because whether it is acute or chronic, the difference is only of the duration. But yeah, etiology will be same, the symptoms will be same, that is your headache or throbbing pain or whatever, pus discharge, epistaxis, whatever is there, and the treatment will also be same, that you have to give analgesics or you have to give decongestants and whatever that part is, this simple antibiotics and all these things, some saline. Regarding maxillary sinus, one thing should be clear, that is your anatomy, embryology, physiology, blood supply, nerve supply, functions, and acute sinusitis and chronic sinusitis. And after that, in maxillary sinus comes your oroantral fistula. You should be knowing what is fistula, and you should also be knowing your short fistula, that is that how to treat the fistula. This is an area of question in oral surgery. If it is like less than 24 hours and you have encountered a fistula, what you are going to do? If it is more than 24 hours and it is a fistula, what you are going to do? And if it is more than 1 month fistula, what you are going to do? So this is the area of question in your surgery part. And along with it, you should be knowing what are the different flaps that are used in the surgical part of treating your fistula. That is either it can be a buccal flap, palatal flap, and or a mixed, both buccal palatal flap. So this you should be knowing that which flap is there and what is the another name of that flap and what is done. And another thing that you should be knowing is your Caldwell-Luke procedure. And the another thing you should be knowing is your FESS procedure. So these are the things you should be knowing. Rest of the things are not important, that you are going to tell yes, sinusitis is going to cause more mucus on it, or sinusitis is going to cause pain, throbbing, headache, allergy. ये सब चीज़ें are not important. What is important is your buccal flap, palatal flap, mixed flap, Caldwell-Luke procedure, fistula, definition of fistula, and then sinusitis. So basically two things are there in it. One, you should be knowing about the treatment part of your sinusitis, whether it is acute or chronic, and another you should be knowing about the treatment part of your fistula, that is mostly surgical, and it includes your buccal flap, palatal flap, or your both flaps or Caldwell-Luke procedure, and this thing you should be knowing. And nothing much about means what is the etiology, diagnosis, transillumination test, थोड़ा थोड़ा पता होना चाहिए. बाकी rest is the same in everything, that you are going to give mucolytic agents, non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, or you are going to give nasal sprays, or the symptoms are the same in everyone, that is your waters blue, clouding दिखाएंगे इसमें, foul smelling होगा, nasal discharge होगा, heavy feeling of the head होगी, constant throbbing in the upper part of the cheek रहेगा, maxillary teeth will be painful, foul smelling will be there. Yeah, case based question can come, means the question usually comes like case based in your maxillary sinus, that the patient is having pain in your upper posterior back region, and they will give you that there is a foul smell. What could be the diagnosis? That at that point these things can help you in solving the question. But yeah, more area that is involved is in your questions on your Caldwell-Luke procedures, Reherman flap, buccal flap, palatal flap, simple flaps that can be used for simple sinusitis or simple fistula, that is a small time, ये सब treat करने के लिए होता है. So this can be asked. So intranasal enterostomy can be asked. Your functional endoscopic sinus surgery can be asked. So small introduction for the maxillary sinus in this video. and tomorrow I'll be posting a next video that would be dealing with the surgical aspect for it. But I have told you an overview what is required in maxillary sinus. You listen to it and you will be able to solve most of the questions. So the first part is that maxillary sinus is called as your antrum of Highmore, and maxillary sinus is called as antrum of your Highmore because it was described in 1651 by your Nathaniel Highmore. So that is why it is known as antrum of Highmore. So the question can be asked, which of the following is known as your antrum of Highmore? The answer will be your maxillary sinus. Maxillary sinus is the largest of all the sinuses, all the paranasal sinuses, whether it's ethmoid sinus or whatever, frontal sinus. So it is the largest of all the sinuses, and a question is there even in the pulse that what are the dimensions of the maxillary sinus, and it is a question that has been asked in the exam. Answer would be your 3.5, that is your anterior posterior, means इतना आपका anterior posterior रहेगा. 3.2 would be your height and 2.5 would be your width. So that is your anterior posterior, height and width. So you have to remember this value, the dimension of the maxillary sinus. This question is asked on it, and the volume of the maxillary sinus is 15 to 30 ml. So the question is asked on this topic also. Even if you consider it general anatomy part, उसमें ये सब questions हैं maxillary sinus से related. Surgery का तो Caldwell-Luke and your incisions are the favorite of the examiner. Ostium in the maxillary sinus is 3.6 mm in diameter and opens into the middle meatus of the nose. So frontal sinus, maxillary sinus, so frontal sinus, your maxillary sinus, and in case of maxillary sinus, maxillary sinus is going to drain into your middle meatus of the nose. So question in the anatomy can be asked, which of the following sinuses are going to drain into your middle meatus of nose? So that mnemonic is FMA. It is your frontal sinus, it is your maxillary sinus, and anterior ethmoidal sinus. So these are the sinuses that are going to open into the middle meatus of the nose. Maxillary sinus का shape पूछ सकते हैं, that the shape is pyramidal, and it consists of a base, apex and 4 sides, which would include your floor, roof, anterior side and posterior side. So pyramidal can be asked in a question and all this. So this is basically all a part of your maxillary sinus from your general anatomy point of view, and we will not be discussing this there because we have covered it here. And so basically anatomy of the maxillary sinus would consist of your base, that is this one. Base is your lateral wall of the nose, and apex is going to project into the zygomatic process of the maxilla. So this question you will be finding in your dental anatomy, where is the apex of your maxillary sinus. So anatomical point of view से भी cover हो गया. Then roof is going to be your thin orbital plate. तो इसके ऊपर orbit पड़ा है, this is your roof, ठीक है. And floor is going to be your alveolar process का extension, this one, palatal. So this is roof, this is floor, this is apex and this is base. Then anterior wall means जो अब ये sinus का आगे वाला wall होगा, this anterior wall will be your facial surface of the maxilla, and posterior wall will be separating the sinus from the infratemporal and pterygomaxillary fossa. So most likely they are going to ask you about the base, your apex, your roof and your floor, that you should be knowing by heart because question comes. Apex का तो आया भी हुआ है, that it projects into the zygomatic process of the maxilla. So here we will be talking about your nerve supply, embryology, physiology and functions of your maxillary sinus. So let's start with the nerve supply of the maxillary sinus. So nerve supply is by your anterior, middle and posterior alveolar nerve, and again by your greater palatine nerve. So the question is asked, which of the following nerves are you going to find out in your maxillary sinus? So answer will be anterior superior alveolar, middle superior alveolar and posterior superior alveolar, and this posterior superior alveolar nerve is going to supply your molars. And anatomy should be known because if you are doing surgery of the maxillary sinus, these nerves should not get damaged. So this thing should be known. Next is your embryology of the maxillary sinus. In early stages of the maxillary sinus is high in the maxilla, and later on it gradually grows downwards by the process of the pneumatization. So the question can be asked, which of the following sinus undergoes pneumatization? Answer will be your maxillary sinus. तो पहले ये ऊपर होता है और फिर धीरे धीरे इट कम्स डाउन 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 अप टू द हार्ड पैलेट और ये नीचे आ जाता है हमारा maxillary sinus. So you should be knowing this thing. And even in adults, the apex of the maxillary posterior teeth is going to extend. If it is a sinus like this, and this is your posterior teeth, the apex is going to extend even sometime into the floor of your maxillary sinus or sinus cavity. So this can happen. And question is usually asked on your shape of the maxillary sinus. So at birth it is going to be your tubular in shape. Question comes, and then it becomes at the age of 9 years and even in the 12 years it remains ovoid in shape, and at the age of 18 years it is pyramidal. So in adults the question might be asked that the shape is pyramidal, but at birth the shape is your tubular, and in between age it is your ovoid. So you have to remember this thing. And next is your functions of maxillary sinus. You know very well that it imparts resonance to the voice, it increases the surface area, it lightens the skull, it moistens and warms the inspired air. The question can be asked, and even they can ask you a little bit in the form of case based questions. तो आपको थोड़ा थोड़ा पता होना चाहिए कि maxillary sinus क्या करता है. It filters the debris from the inspired air, and it is located in front of the forebrain and olfactory region. So it provides air padding to provide thermal insulation to the important tissues that are mentioned above. So these are the functions of your maxillary sinus. Next is your physiology of your maxillary sinus. That maxillary sinus is lined by the respiratory epithelium, and that is mainly your mucus secreting epithelium, that is your pseudo stratified ciliated columnar epithelium known as Snyder's membrane. So it should be very well known that what is the name of the membrane that is surrounding it. Answer would be your Snyder's membrane. So this thing should be very clear, done in your oral histology also regarding it. So ये वो वाला aspect cover कर लिया मैंने. The cilia moves the mucus and other debris towards the ostium, and ostium is going to discharge into your middle meatus. Maxillary sinus is going to attain the adult size by the age of 15 years. A question of some medical question. So they can ask you, when is maxillary sinus going to attain the adult size? Even I think so it was asked in PGI a few years back. So maxillary sinus reaches the adult size by the age of 15 years. So in adults normally it is 1.25 centimeter of distance between the apex of the posterior teeth and floor of the mouth. So this distance is there 1 से 1.25 सेंटीमीटर. ठीक है, 1 से 1.25 सेंटीमीटर is there in case of adults, but in children it is even more than that. Means it might be even more than 1.25. That's why the chances of having fistula or having something like that in case of children is less. So you should be knowing about this thing. So this was a basic concept related to your maxillary sinus, and I have covered all that part. Thank you.